Hey guys, this is a message from me and all your family at Faith Ignited to those around the world currently living in some kind of quarantine and in a situation that they had not expected to be in. This is a trying time for many of us. With so many uncertainties in our global situation, I want to invite you to reflect upon a moment in a time long, long ago. It was about 2,000 years ago that a group of men and women were huddled in a small house in Jerusalem. They were hiding in fear of the Roman government and the Jewish temple establishment. Their world was lost. They were overcome with a deep sense of hopelessness that is difficult for us to imagine today. Just a few months before that fateful moment, these men and women had seen their leader give sight to a blind man, cast out demons, feed 5,000 people with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. He even raised the dead man to life. No one had ever done these things or said the things that Jesus of Nazareth had. In one moment, Jesus was so confident of his identity as God and so loving that you wanted to be near him, to sense the power and the presence of God personally. And the next moment, he was critical of false teachings and so protective of the sacredness of humanity that he made you tremble with recognition of your own faults and flaws. In all moments, he continually moved towards a mission that would be realized in a city called Jerusalem. Once Jesus was arrested, his disciples scattered. They hid and even denied knowing him as it became every man for themselves. These disciples, these followers of Jesus, many of whom had been with Jesus for over 3 years, had placed their trust in him being the Messiah, the new son of David who would come to set things right on this earth and reestablish the new Jerusalem. They had looked for him to restore the former glory of the temple and the geopolitical power of the nation of Israel. But that was before the cross, before the tomb, before they saw their Messiah take his last breath upon the cross. The once arrogant and strong-willed Peter looked gaunt and broken now, his spirit but a shell of bewilderment. Matthew sat huddled in a corner, wondering how he could have been so wrong about something that he had felt so sure about. He felt betrayed by Jesus. As he passed between his fingers a Roman coin with Caesar's face on it, he said out loud, "There's no difference between Jesus and Augustus." Thomas had just left. That's right, he just left. No one was sure where he went. Late Saturday evening, he screamed that he couldn't take it anymore, and he fled into the streets with tears in his eyes. Mary, mother of Jesus, sat staring out a window in the room, rocking a piece of cloth back and forth, back and forth. Perhaps it had been something Jesus had worn when he was younger. Their world was devastated, their hopes destroyed, as if a joy-killing plague had just infected them all with an overnight and had incinerated the very life inside them. Sunday morning, the women would go to the tomb to finish preparing the body. They would leave hoping that the Roman soldiers stationed as guards would roll away the stone and let them near the lifeless body. The men would stay behind, fearing capture and execution for being his followers. For 3 days, the angels observed a self-imposed silence as hopes were quarantined as off limits. God had been killed upon a cross. Satan believed he had triumphed. This is how many of us might presently feel, or how many of us might feel in the future, as we don't know how long this will last. Depending on the length of the current crisis, I want you to remember, no matter what, you are not alone. This is not the first dark hour for the church or humanity, and it won't be the last. I believe just as God once used such a dark time 2,000 years ago, he's able to use this time for his next spiritual movement. I say awaken, dear church, and let us be in a time of prayer, inviting God to call us from the darkness with a reward and a renewed of the Easter celebration that is to come. As Tony Campolo used to preach, it's Friday, but Sunday's coming. Don't give up hope. As we prepare for Easter this year, Most of us held up in homes, maybe some of us afraid of our future. I pray you reflect and gain a new insight into the thoughts and feelings of the first followers of Jesus and their situation as they also waited and waited. They waited not knowing about the resurrection, not knowing that it was coming at all, not even expecting it. Why? Because nobody expects to find no body in a tomb. Not understanding the prophecies or predictions of their master and their Messiah, not knowing their future, the disciples waited and waited, not knowing about the resurrection or the Easter that was yet to come. I pray that you too are in waiting and expectations of the Easter celebration that is to come. An Easter celebration that is more than just a day, but a way of life, because we serve the resurrected Lord, and it changes everything.